BMX racing in 600s, and obviously here we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And what comes after Sunday?
Monday.
Good boy. Do you get nervous doing interviews? Yeah. You don't have to be nervous talking to me, do you? So don't just forget about the camera and just talk to me. That's it. Yeah. So here we are today at the second round of the UK National Race Series, and here we have Ben. Ben is racing in the 8-year-old boys, so we're just going to hear a little bit about how he got on in racing. He's going to let us know what he loves about the sport of BMX racing and how he got involved in it. So tell us a little bit about how you're racing then, Ben.
Yesterday I got a fifth, a sixth, and then a fifth. And then in the quarter I got a fifth again. And then I got knocked out in the quarters because I didn't get the top four. And then today I got a third, fourth, and then third, and then I got an eighth in the semi, and then went into the B final, and then got eighth.
So it sounds like to me you've had an absolutely amazing weekend so far. Tell me why you love the sport of BMX racing so much.
Because you can play, when you get to go to tracks you can try and jump stuff, and then you can manual, and I just do my sport.
Wow, so have you ever been involved in any other cycling sports, or is BMX the only sport you've been involved in?
Yeah, I do some mountain biking, but my main sport's BMX.
Wow, that's absolutely amazing. So here it shows that in BMX racing you don't have to just be, an adult to take part in the sport. You can get involved from 6 and under, whether that be females or males. And here we have Ben today, and he's been happy enough to talk to me. So thanks a lot, Ben. So you can go and have a play now and watch some BMX racing. Thanks very much. Give us 5. in this one, I'd have to be looking at this camera, do I, or anything? Because I might have to switch with you. Yeah, yeah. Is that better, yeah? Will you give me a cue to say it stopped? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Thank God for that. We like being close.
Well, friends here. Well,
So I'll go to you first, and then you can just like I'll pick up on you, yeah? That's it, I can't do it. Oh, yeah. So we have some special guests here today. This is Jeremy Hayes. He's now the coach of Team Ireland and actually was my very first coach and got me to where I was today, so I'm very thankful for that. But I want to first and foremost just ask Jeremy about how the Team Ireland setup's got. We've got a rider here from Team Ireland and here's a coach, so we'll have a chat with him and see how he thinks.
Yeah, we started the Team Ireland BMX squad in 2015, so it's in our second year. The guys are doing well. We came from quite a sort of grassroots basic end. The guys didn't have much experience. We've been working hard. We've had 2 winter training camps this year in Spain. So the guys, it's a fast learning curve, but they're doing really well. And of course, we're here today to start this 2017 season here in Manchester.
Perfect, that's great. So how are you getting on, Sam? How's things been going for you?
I've been going all right. I've been training hard over the winter, and yesterday I was a bit disappointed because I got knocked out in the quarter-final, but today it's a different day, and it's going to go better, I think.
That's fantastic. Do you want to add anything about like the progression where you see, you know, in terms of getting to the Olympics, or have you got any long-term goals where you want Team Ireland to be?
Yeah, this is at least a 5-year program. So the guys are still young, they're still developing. We want these guys to be internationally competitive, but we're looking at the early 20s before we know they're physically developed for that. What we are looking for this year is to look at the next level down. So we're looking at a junior development squad. So we're going to start being on the 12, 13-year-olds. So, you know, it takes time. We know it takes time. It took a long time when we were here doing this stuff. The guys have to have patience and just work hard. And fortunately, with the guys we've got in Ireland, they've got a good work ethic, they're enthusiastic, and we've got a great team around us as well. All the support staff back in Ireland, Cycling Ireland are supporting us fantastically. So hopefully, it'll be a steady progress. No quick, sort of quick fixes, but we're just going to work hard and look at the end game.
Well, that's fantastic. And then me and half Irish myself, I look forward to seeing where the progression gets within Team Ireland. So yeah, thanks for talking to me, Jez, and thanks for talking to me. Perfect. Right.
Alrighty. The social media competition for these events, this is coming around the last minute. Paddy Sherrick has just leaving the jersey to be racing today. Tara Fortunately, he strengthened his match, but a bit of hole in the shoulder, with the one bridge. But he's a good head. So I'm waiting. So hang on, we'll work like that. Instagram, go on my Instagram at BMX Commentators with a picture of Paddy's jersey. All you've got to do is comment with a hashtag with Paddy's jersey. That's it. Just go on, comment with Paddy's jersey with a hashtag. I'll pick up a bit out of that with the old boxing finals. So if you want, get yourself on Instagram now. There's that BMX Commentators which you might have out. Beautiful water, comment, hashtag with Paddy's jersey. I'll pick you up around it. There might be another jersey coming as well for the horses. If there is, I'll let you know. Initially, I want to report these. These are false marks on already.
Can you re-edit it? Like, so I'm going to start again?
So there's a jersey. Completely folded back. So it's definitely a collector's item.
Is this gone live on the internet now?
Or it's high. Also, I've got a good jersey. Smashing. Thank you, sir. Alright, thank you very much. Alright, I'm going to do the post Paddy's jersey as well. The comment size will be 2 minutes. All these girls, keep comments on Paddy's
So
ball.
BMX racing is just about a family sport. There's two people here that have done absolutely exceptional in the sport of BMX racing. We've got Ryan and Lauren here, Ryan and Lauren Stack, and we're just going to hear a little bit about the rivalry between them both, if there was any, and how they've also got on in their BMX careers. So how have you done, Ryan, and have you ever had any rivalry with Lauren?
Not rivalry as such, because obviously we're different age groups, but it's always nice to feel like you've done the best out of the family over the weekend. So sometimes if she's done better, I think, next time I must do better as well. So.
And what do you think about that, Lauren?
Yeah, I think the same. So even though you're in different categories, like if Ryan got a better position than me, it's kind of rivalry in that sort of sense, like in different age groups.
Oh, that's great. And also, this weekend, obviously, we're at Manchester, and it's the second round now of the Nationals. How did you get on yesterday?
I got second yesterday in the 17:29 class, so pretty happy with that. Just a good way to start off the year. Hopefully progress on now to the bigger events that are later to come.
Perfect. How about you, Lauren?
I didn't have a great day yesterday. I went out in the motos, but it's quite tough this year. They've split the girls. There's a championship and a 17 plus now, so it's a really hard age group.
After watching you yesterday, Lauren, and obviously yourself, Ryan, you can speak a little bit about this, Ryan, over the years. How do you see the sport has progressed in the female category? I mean, I haven't been to a BMX race for quite some time, and just seeing the challenge and the level of competition within the women is absolutely amazing. And what do you think about that, Lauren?
Yeah, it's come on so much. Speed, but also the skills. So all the girls are jumping now. So when I was younger, it wasn't really a done thing. Girls didn't jump that much, but now everyone's jumping, and speed and skills have just come on so much.
And what do you think, Ryan? Do you see a progression over female sport and in cycling? How do you see it progress?
Oh, definitely. Just watching the girls when you used to only see 1 or 2 jump, and that used to be your top 2. Now there's literally, it could be 8 in a race that all jump, and it makes racing so much tighter and a lot more enjoyable for the spectators.
That's brilliant. Thanks, guys, for talking to me today. So look out for Ryan and Lauren racing later on today, and let's see where they finish, and hopefully they can better their performances from yesterday.
True, decided what we will swing in second.
Today we're going to speak to Kyle about how he's getting on in racing and just tell us a little bit about the facility. How are you getting on, Kyle?
Well, I've been having fun. It's obviously the start of the new national series, so it's all good, really.
That's great. So how has racing gone yesterday and how about today?
Well, yesterday I made it to the final of my cruiser and ended up 4th, so I'm quite happy with that. And then in my 20-inch, I ended up with a 5th in the quarter, which wasn't what I hoped for, but there's always today.
That's brilliant. Thanks a lot for that. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take a recap on how yesterday's racing went and see some highlights.
Martin Ogden, Ian Sharp, Darren Reedy, Gary O'Brien, new to the age group, Hugo Martins from Portugal, Jason Nichols, Alan Hill, Sean Andrews. I mean, this could be anybody's race. Anybody's race.
You're going for the win.
I'm calling Hilly. He's just...
Yeah, so consistent. Like, I haven't not seen him out in front today. He's like, yeah, he's been leading pretty much all day, but I think Oggy's going to give him a good race.
Yeah, I think maybe Reedy will be in the mix as well. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, but you can't count out the one and only Speedy Reedy.
Speedy Reedy, which was also your nickname as well.
I got it off the one and only Daz Reed.
Oh, really? Oh, okay, there you go.
But yeah, Bob back in the day says, I used to know this guy called Speedy Reedy, and that's what I'm calling you. So yeah, he was the one I got it from.
Oh, right, okay, that's great. factoids. We're not just watching a race. Look at Healy from gate 5. Oh, wow. He wants this win. Look at him come across. He's out in front. He's jumped up that step up. Sharp is there. Og is there. Reed is there. All the names that we mentioned earlier on. But look at Healy go, Sinead.
Absolutely flying. I think this must be about his 20th lap of the weekend so far already. But it's absolutely, flying down here. But you've got Sharpie who's on his heels. That's going to look to make a move in this last corner.
Yeah, Sharpie is right behind him. These guys have been racing for many years. Healy went down on Cruiser on this last straight, but he's going to hold on this time. And Healy takes the win for Pure Bicycles. Ian Sharp is there in the 2 spot on double cross. And I'm not sure who got the 3. Let's check it out as they come around this. We're watching a bit of a replay here, but it was Speedy Reedy. Speedy Reedy was there on the final podium spot. Wow. Okay, championship women, Sinead. I'll let you do this one, I think.
Yeah, so the championship winner, we've got Blaine Davis, who I'm actually going to call and call her for the win today. She's impressed me so much. I mean, she's come from Peckham. She's like absolutely give it everything with CK Flash down there, who's been doing an amazing job. I hear she's currently working with Jess Varnish, who's doing her strength and conditioning. And obviously Beth and Charlotte. I think it's going to be a great race, but I'm going to say Blaine for the win.
Okay, championship winning, hit the track. Blaine Ridge Davis. Bethany Shrever's gone down in a massive heap on the first corner, and that's left, I think, Blaine Ridge Davis leading this one out. Jumping her way through is Charlotte Green there on the 2 spot. So the young guns, 2 more riders gone down in the second corner, but Blaine Ridge Davis absolutely flying today. You called it right, Sinead.
Yeah, she's absolutely flying, and it's really, really good to see. I mean, I've been working with her when she's been in the gym at Manchester, and she's absolutely killing it right now. So I'm so proud of her for taking the win. I'm glad to see that Beth's got back that crash.
Yeah, Beth got back up. She's okay. Her wheel's a bit buckled there. I think it's not spinning correctly, but
I think we see Blaine's actually crying with excitement and joy at the finish line. So that just shows how much heart and passion she put into that race, and I'm so proud of her. And I'm gonna as soon as this finishes, go down and congratulate her.
That's great to see. I love all the emotions of BMX. I even get a bit emotional now just looking at this now. The replay of the camera, what we're seeing, all the ladies congratulating each other here on the finish line, and the emotions there is great. Seen a lot of first-time national winners this evening, I think. So what we're on the last race of the day. These are the big guns. So Supercross, a lot of these riders are elite riders, maybe just checking out a new Supercross style race that they're introduced this year. We've got Tian Isidore, Kai White, of course, brother of Trey. Tian Isidore, brother of Quillen, both elite riders. Ross Cullen, he's a young gun in this age group. Harry Baker, Ewan Hunt on the ODP team here at British Cycling. Ashley Binner, Billy Luckhurst, been around for ever and a day, and Ollie Cutmore there for Identity on the outside.
I think Tian could get his first national win.
Yeah, do you know what? I hope so. But unfortunately, at the moment, the guy leading this one out is the number 969, and it's Kai White.
Kai's absolutely killing it. I mean, last time I seen Kai and Tian, they were both just young lads, and now the voices are broke. They sound like complete grown men. But look at them out there racing. It's absolutely amazing to see them pushing the boundaries.
Yeah, this is going to be tight in this last corner. Tian and Kai coming down this last straightaway. It's getting ever so close. Ewan Hunt's there as well. It's going to be Kai White. Tian Isidore. I think it was Ewan Hunt there in the 3 spot, or was it Ross Cullen? Might have even been Ross Cullen there. Let's check the camera here. Yeah, I think it was Ross Cullen. So Ross Cullen, the young gun, mixing up with some of these other guys in the Supercross race. And that was some real good stuff there. Yeah, it was Ross Cullen. So Kai White took the win. Tian Isidore there on the 2 spot, and Ross Cullen there in the 3, showing some of these older riders how it's done. What awesome racing here today, Sinead. Okay, we're back racing here in Manchester at the indoor, and we're hitting up the Supercross races now. We're here with Sinead Reid, former multiple world champion, of course, on the BMX scene, and we're opening up with the women. It's a 16 and over open category, Sinead. And we're on to the second race already. The live feed is on the British Cycling website. Blaine and Charlotte there. A good race. Another race of women. Molly Dobson, Lauren Anion, Charlie Hartwell, Tabitha Rendell, and Elena Stafford. Beth Shriver, I think, has not showed up for this race. So looks like it's Lauren Anion out in front at the moment. She's on the W5. That means she was the world finalist from last year, 2016, out in Colombia, I believe. And she came 5th, of course, in that final. That's why she's on the W5 plate. And Molly Dobson, I've got to say, is riding amazing this weekend, but I think that could be Charlie Hartwell there in the 2 spot.
These riders haven't had much rest in between the actual national that's gone on and the open now that's happening. You see Blaine back up there in that first race, getting the second to Charlotte, who both have just pretty much raced their final only about an hour or so ago. So it's great to see them girls out there, and shows the level of the fitness that they can keep churning out really good solid laps.
The men, of course, this is junior men coming up, so 17, 18-year-olds, or 16, 17-year-olds, I should say, junior men coming up on the top of the big 8-metre ramp, and they'll come down and hit the right-hand side of the second straight, which is also a massive pro section here in Manchester. It looks quite scary, that second straight, Sinead.
Yeah, I mean, it does look scary, and it's great to see like so many of the youngsters now. I mean, you see Ross Cullen, you know, jumping it, Ryan Martin, who can't be here this weekend. You know, big shout out to him and how good he's been doing recently. The Supercross is so action-packed, and you'll see that tonight.
Oh wow, look at this guys go. This is super fast racing. Kai White earlier on took the win in the Supercross in the British National Series, and he's leading this one out there with a guy there in the 2 spot. There is going to be Cedric Booty, I think, from Switzerland on the 5 plate. Yes, Cedric Booty. So Kai White, Tien Isidore has made the move and he's following his fellow Peckham rider home. So Kai White, Tien Isidore, 1 and 2 there from Peckham. Cedric Booty from Switzerland was in the mix as well in that one. Good close racing.
A shout out to CK, what he's been doing at Peckham with all the guys there. I mean, obviously from the likes of Dan White, then through to Trey, and then obviously his brother Kai now stepping up, and Tia and Isidore following suit. I mean, it's amazing just to see that the level of talent that's coming away from London out there. And obviously Hayes as well has been doing an amazing job with producing some amazing riders.
Yeah, that's right, and that's where it all starts, grassroots racing. These kids hit their bikes when they were a very young age, and now they're racing the big hill here in Manchester, the home of BMX in the UK, the big Supercross hill. We've had many World Cups here, and we've got some good riders in this one. We've got the current European champion from Latvia, Edzus Tramanis. He's on the 5 plate. He made the world final as well last year, so he's the world number 5, and he's the current European champion. Damien Godet from France, Tori Nervestad from Norway, Charles Borrell from Switzerland, but we've got Trey White, older brother of Kai, and Carl Evans on the 2-1-1, and it looks like it's Carl Evans in the middle. Is going to go into that first turn. No, Trey White on the inside had the advantage. So Trey White on the GT, Carl Evans on the Puri in the 2 spot. Coming on through was Turi Nervestad, but he's just hung up a bit on that jump, Sinead, and it's looking good for the British guys out in front.
Yeah, I mean, Trey's looking really good. I know, like, just been working with him in the gym this winter, and he's been putting him in some hard work. But what's great to see is Kyle coming back after having the major wrist surgery, you know, coming there almost whole shotting into the first turn, and he's looking strong, and it's great to see him back up on his bike and racing again. Yeah,
that's very true. Yeah, injuries play a big factor in BMX. We're all fully aware of that. It's hitting the ground hard when you're going very fast is always going to be some operations and some bone breakages along the way. But yeah, it's good to see Carl Evans back up after some major surgery. We've got some other guys from Norway, Hungary, UK, France in this one, and we got the young Paddy Sharrock in this one from the UK, but looks like it's going to be Theo Chappelle, the 690, leading this one out. So these guys they were junior men last year, so this is their first year elite. So Paddy Sharrock, Theo Chappelle 1 and 2. Looks like it's the guy from Norway, Sebastian Aslaksrud, they're on the 3 spot, and the 4th spot is going to be the other guy there from Hungary, is Bence Bujaki, and Liam Brown on the back of the field there. But it was Theo Chappelle from France taking that win. So same format, they're going to race 3 times, trying to get through to that main event later on this evening.
Yeah, it's great to see Paddy there. I mean, the skill level of Paddy is absolutely unbelievable. I mean, for many years now, he's always rode, way above ahead of his years. And yeah, I pretty much would say he's probably one of the most talented bike riders that I've ever seen. The way he handles a bike is unbelievable, and just seeing him then jumping a triple on the last straight.
He's a very, very talented rider, that is for sure, Paddy Sharrock. So some good wins there for some British guys, some French guys mixing up as well. And the ladies there, I think Charlotte Green took a win in race number 1. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're here for round number 2, moto number 2 here for the Supercross racing here tonight. This is a UCI event. It's a C1 category, so if it was an Olympic year or coming up for one, we'd be racing for points. But it's good to see the ladies out here racing tonight, and this one is going all the way to Blaine Rich Davis taking the win in this one. She took the win earlier on in the National Series, and here on the Supercross race tonight, Blaine Rich Davis takes the win there from Charlotte Green on the 2 spot. So this is women 16 and over open, and we've got another rack of 16 over coming up. Charlie Hartwell, Alyssa Bradford, Silke Fiskebeck, Elena Stafford, Libby Smith, Marita Lasak Selva, and Julie Dominguez. So it looks like it's the lady from Norway with the Silke Fiskebeck there. Fiskebeck out in front. 16 over, Elena Stafford, very young lady in the 2 spot. Libby Smith there, and Lisa May Bradford is in the 3 spot, battling for 3 and 4. But yet again, Sinead, the ladies are looking fast and furious here tonight.
Yeah, and it's good to see some international girls coming over and really giving, a challenge to the British girls. It's what, exactly what it needs. So it's great to see some foreign faces out here tonight, especially not just in the women's but in the men's as well. Like you said, we've got the European champion here, which is great to see. Yeah,
for sure. So we're turning our attention to the big hill again and the junior men category. We've got the 2 guys from Peckham again here from the big hill. Kaya White getting the whole shot. On the inside is Tian Isidore. So it's Kaya White leaning it out. Tian Isidore on the 2 spot. In the 3 spot, it's going to be Cedric Bouty, I think, from Switzerland. Oh, wow, the guy from Norway, he went extremely left on the step up. Nearly took out the UCI guy who's also from Norway. Kel's there. But anyway, back to the racing. Kaya White, Tian Isidore, 1 and 2. Cedric Bouty's there in the 3, and I think the guy there in the 4th was the guy from Norway, Matthias Nerland, maybe.
Yeah, but just to give a shout out to Eddie Moore today. I think he's really impressed me today. I think he's really, chasing down these guys that some of them are full time, and it's great to see that he's, pushing the boundaries and is up there in the racing.
Yeah, Eddie Moore, a very likeable character. He's got an older brother as well, and one of the smaller riders in that junior men category, but certainly got the speed to keep up with those guys.
The question is, can Kai give Trey a run for his money in the final later on today? I think the way he's going, it could look like, a bit of brother rivalry out there on the track.
Yeah, for sure. As we turn our attention to the elite men now. So Carl Evans and Trey White, 1 and 2. This time Carl Evans has got the whole shot, so Trey led him out in the first race. You should see the face of Trey White as he comes around that corner. Godet from France there on the 2 spot, but Trey White's holding it out. So Carl Evans, 2:11, leading it out. Went to Rio in 2016. Back here in Manchester, racing fast and furious here tonight. Carl Evans is looking good out in front. Trey White on the 2. Here comes Trey. Look at the different line through that last straight. And it was nearly a dead heat, Sinead.
Yeah, I mean, just look at Trey. Like he's obviously got Kyle in his sights all the way, and he hasn't backed off one little bit going down the last straight. As you can see, he took the last jump slightly different to Kyle and almost passed him on the finish line.
Yeah, close race, but I think Carl Evans just hang on there. So another round of elite men hitting the track. This time Theo Chappelle, Paddy Sharrock in this one. So looks like it's Ture Nervestad from Norway leading this one out. So Norway out in front. I can see Paddy Sharrock on the 2, Theo Chappelle on the outside, and Edzus Tramanis from Latvia in the 4th. Look at this racing. There's only 4 of them in it, but it's super close. They're on the white line on every jump. Tramanis has to break into that last corner. Nervestad from Norway looking good out in front. Theo Chappelle and Paddy Sharrock on the 2 and the 3, and Tramanis just shutting it down, taking it easy, getting ready for the next round. They're coming up here with Charlotte Green, Silky Fiskebet there from Norway, Alyssa Bradford, Libby Smith, Charlie Hartwell, Tabitha Rendell, and Beth Shriver. I don't think has appeared on the gate, so a full rack of British ladies and 1 Norwegian. She's the world number 3 from last year in the junior women category. It's Silky Fiskebet. So let's check this race now as we get ready to go here in Manchester, the home of British cycling and BMX. They're off the 5 metre hill, the ladies, and it's looking good. Okay, 3rd rack of motors. So this is all about qualifying through to the final. Charlotte Green from Great Britain looking good out there on the 101. Libby Smith in the 2, and it's Fiskebek from Norway there in the 3 spot. And Charlie Hartwell's been riding really well tonight, and she's looking good there in the 4th space. Oh, Libby Smith has gone down the 2nd corner, and I think the peak of the crash helmet exploded in the turn, but let's hope she's okay. Charlotte Green looking good out in front. Still Fiskebek there for 2, Hartwell 3, and Alyssa Bradford is going to get through in 4. And Libby Smith there in the 2nd turn just went down. And it's the 16 over ladies, 3rd qualification motos. And when you go down on these tarmac turns, it certainly hurts. Sinead, you've been there before.
I've been down exactly where Libby is actually. I took a big crash just there, and it just looked like, it seemed like maybe she clipped a pedal on the corner or something, but she went down super hard there. Hopefully she can get back up and not hurt too much. No,
for a moment there it didn't look good, but she's already sitting up, moving about, so we can see that hopefully we've got some great medics here on the Manchester circuit. I think they're just going to help out. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. I think those watching at home will see that she's up on her feet, and wow, fast and furious. Okay, we're going to look up to the gate again. Women 16 and overs. Blaine Ridge Davis from Peckham there. She took the win in the National Series earlier on this evening. Elena Stafford, one of the young guns. Ellie Featherstone. Lauren Anion, a world finalist. Marita Laxeselva, I think from Norway, is there with Julie Dominguez and Molly Dobson. We'll be going live with the racing from 4 on the Bike Channel on Sky, 464. But it's Blaine Ridge Davis leading this one out. Sinead's looking good as always. What do you reckon? What's the style looking like?
Yeah, I think she's like, I mean, since I last seen Blaine riding, which was last year sometime, her style on the bike's just got really good. She looks like she's really putting a lot of work with her skills, but she just looks like a solid all-round package at the moment, and one of the most challenging tracks, so good on her. It's good to see. Yeah, this certainly is a challenging track. I raced it earlier on this evening, and yeah, it's certainly tough on my body, but it's one of those tracks you've got to have some technical ability, certainly, to get around it as fast as you can. And Blaine Ridge Davis has just given us a first-class lesson in there and how to ride this awesome track here in Manchester. We've got some good viewers on the live feed tonight. A few shout-outs to our friend Euro Dave, just throwing out a few comments on the British Cycling Facebook page, and we're looking to the big hill now, so we're back up to 8 metres. Oh no, sorry, this is elite men now. The junior men will return for a final later on, so we've moved on to elite men. Oh, the bars are banging down that first straightaway from Ture Nervestad and Carl Evans. Evans is on the outside, Nervestad on the inside, but the 519 coming on through is going to be Paddy Sharrock making moves. Wow, Paddy Sharrock, junior men last year, moving on through here, but Carl Evans on the 211, Olympian from 2016, looking good out in front. It's Evans, Sharrock, Nervestad, and it's a dead heat on the line. It's an awesome racing there from the guys. And here we go with the women 16 over open final. Blaine Ridge Davis obviously out of the gate first alongside Charlotte Green. So Blaine Ridge Davis, she's already won one final here tonight.
and we can see some good moves going in the corner. Charlotte Green, Lauren Anion, elbow to elbow down that second straight, but Blaine Ridge Davis looking good out in front, Sinead. Charlotte Green trying to get on a back wheel, but I think Blaine's got this one in the bag. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I think definitely Blaine did exactly what she needed to do down that first straight then. She dictated the race, left Charlotte not a lot of room around in the first corner, which obviously cost Charlotte quite a lot of speed. And look at Blaine yet again, gets a second win. Absolutely amazing racing.
Yeah, a really good win again there from Blaine Ridge Davis, her second of the night. She just won the National Series round number 1 here in the British Cycling Centre, and she's just gone across the line there and won her second race of the evening, and that's some really good stuff from Blaine Ridge Davis. Charlotte Green been racing a long time there in the 2 spot. Didn't quite catch the third. I think it might have been Silky Fiskebæk from Norway. But we're on to the junior men. This has gone to Grand Prix tonight. So this is running with the finals. Kai White, Tien Isidore, both from Peckham. Cedric Booty from Switzerland. Matthias Nerland, I think he's from Holland. Eddie Moore, Ewan Hunt and Harry Baker, all from GB as well. So we've got the 2 guys from Peckham on the inside. Tien Isidore in lane 1. Trey White in lane 2. Oh, Trey White's unclipped on the first straightaway. Tien Isidore up the inside, but the 118 has come through to take the lead. The 118 is Matthias Nerland from Norway. So Norway leading this one out. Tien Isidore in the 2, and it's Grand Prix, so that means all points count from the earlier races here this evening. So I think unless Kai White is going to make an amazing move in the last corner. Oh, Tien Isidore and Nerland. I think Tien Isidore looks like he got the win there on the line. We can see these guys come down this last straightaway. Nerland and Isidore 1 and 2, and I think Isidore might get the overall there with that super tight racing, Sinead.
Yeah, I think Tien has. I think it was a shame for Kai, obviously, to unclip on the gate, but that's BMX racing. Like I said, blink and you miss it. So yeah, let's see what the final results say and see who got the win, and let's hope that it can be GB on the top spot, and it's not not a foreigner that's coming and trying to steal the points.
Yeah, good stuff there. You can see the pictures there on the finish line. So we're going to turn ourselves to the top of the hill. We've got some awesome riders here in this elite men's race. Carl Evans from Great Britain, Trey White also from Great Britain, Theo Chappelle from France, Paddy Sharrock, Great Britain, Tori Nervestad from Norway, Edzus Tramanis, Latvia, Sebastian Aslaksrud from Norway, and Damien Godet from France. This is a super stacked elite men final, Sinead. What do you reckon? Who's going to win?
It's going to be hard. I think obviously with Kyle Evans going in lane 1 and Trey on his outside in 2, I think it's going to come down to who can hold the nerves down and who can kind of compose himself good enough to get a good start. But I'm going to go Trey, I think, in this one.
Okay, she's going Trey White. I'm going to go Carl Evans. Back from injury, but I think he wants to get a win under his belt. Let's see what happens in this elite men's Supercross race. Silence for the gate. The gate goes down. Oh, Trey White got a superstar. Carl Evans as well. One rider's gone down, so it's definitely not going to be Kev and Theo Chappelle. Oh, it's all going off here today. So burning rubber in front of me, but it's Tori Nervestad now. So Nervestad from Norway lean it out. Trey White on the 2. The crowd are going to go absolutely mental if Trey White could get past Nervestad. Here comes Trey down the last straightaway, looking good. Little bobble. Oh, dead heat.
What an absolute amazing race. Trey, I think, actually jumped a pedal manual out on that last straight there. He wanted it so much. Paddy was like hunting him down, looking for a move, but couldn't quite make anything happen. But good on Trey. I hope he got that. Maybe he didn't, looking at the photograph finish.
Yeah, we're seeing a live feed here. We can see what went on over the line, and we think it might have been Navrestad from Norway that took the win in the end. Carl Evans and Theo Chappelle came together in the first corner. We got one rider down in the first straightaway. I think that was Sebastian Aslakrud from Norway there as well. But on the finish line, Godet from France is there. So, yeah, Theo Chappelle. So I think that is Aslaksrud from Norway. But super tough racing. You can see how fast and furious it was. Trey White got the gate. Carl Evans was with him, but then it all just got messy in this first corner, Sinead, and it left it to the Norwegian to fight it out with Trey along the last straightaway.
Yeah, and I think that guy that's just gone down now looks like it's a really heavy crash, and just hoping that he can get up and walk away from this one, because it looked like it was a pretty heavy hit, and I think pretty much part of his helmet flew off when he hit the ground. So hopefully he can get back up and be ready to race again tomorrow.
I mean, these guys and girls are hitting about 40-45 miles an hour as they hit the bottom of this start hill, so you can imagine they're increasing their speed even as they hit this first jump here in Manchester. And yeah, when you go down hard. But yep, been some great racing here this evening. Oh, put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, he's up, he's okay. Sebastian Aslakrud from Norway. He's come a long way. Doesn't want to go home quite like that, but maybe he's going to stick around and race tomorrow. So there'll be a prize presentation on the first straight in a little while. But yeah, some good stuff. So as a wrap up, Blaine Ridge Davis did well for Great Britain, getting her second win of the night, Sinead, and looks like Tori Nurestad got the win in the elite men with Trey White in 2, and the junior men, well, that was a mix up as well, but I think maybe Tian Isidore took the win in the end overall.
Yeah, I think it was Tian Isidore that maybe took the win from Kai there. Yeah, so that guy's up now, which is good to see. And I mean, tonight's racing has just been unreal. This is what BMX racing's about. People who come to watch a BMX race will never be disappointed. You pay a couple of quid to come and watch with your kids, and you'll have the best night's racing. That you'll see on some BMX wheels. So yeah, come along next time to one of the events. There's another one happening tomorrow. If you can't come along, then tune in and be watch on TV.
Done. 3, 2.
Third place on the 515 place. Give it up for P. Riley Sharon! Second place on the 696 place. A crowd going for sure. Trey White!
My name is Tore Navstad. I just won British Open. Season opening today, so it felt good to win. It's almost impossible to beat the English guys here, but it was a good lap, had a good gate, and crossed the finish line first, so a good day.
So that was the highlights from Saturday's racing. If you want to see more, stay tuned and you can see the rest of today's action. Here we have Freya, a little race. She races BMX, and we're going to have a little chat with her to see how she got on yesterday and also how she got on this morning in her racing. So how did you do?
Yesterday I came second in my final, and first, second and first in my motos, and came second in my semi.
That's absolutely fantastic. So tell me why you love it, Freya. Why do you love BMX racing so much?
I like BMX because it's fun and you can have some competitions with your friends. You can learn some skills.
Brilliant. And what do you think about the BMX track here at Manchester?
I like this here because I can do a couple of manuals and some jumps.
Well, that's brilliant. It's great to hear from Freya on how she's getting on in the BMX National Race Series. Still to come is more BMX racing action, but if you want to see more, you can still contact us through the Facebook British Cycling page. And here we have Ben. Ben is racing in the 8-year-old boys, so we're just going to hear a little bit about how he got on in racing. He's going to let us know what he loves about the sport of BMX racing and how he got involved in it. So tell us a little bit about how you racing, Ben.
yesterday I got a fifth, a sixth, and then a fifth. And then in the quarter I got a fifth again. And then I got knocked out in the quarters because I didn't get the top four. And then today I got a third, fourth, and then third, and then I got an eighth in the semi, and then went into the B final, and then got eighth.
So it sounds like to me you've had an absolutely amazing weekend so far. Tell me why you love the sport of BMX racing so much.
Because you can play, when you get to go to tracks you can try and jump stuff, and then you can manual, and I just do my sport.
Wow, so have you ever been involved in any other cycling sports, or is BMX the only sport you've been involved in?
Yeah, I do some mountain biking, but my main sport's BMX.
Wow, that's absolutely amazing. So here it shows that in BMX racing you don't have to just be an adult to take part in the sport. You can get involved from 6 and under, whether that be females or males. And here we have Ben today, and he's been happy enough to talk to me. So thanks a lot, Ben. So you can go and have a play now and watch some BMX racing.
'Needed that. I'd have been photoed off almost. Guys, there's 2 more calls here. One, through, guys.
Please go now to ride on the straight line. Yeah, please.
A special guest here today. This is Jeremy Hayes. He's now the coach of Team Ireland and actually was my very first coach and got me to where I was today, so I'm very thankful for that. But I want to first and foremost just ask Jeremy about how the Team Ireland setup's got. We've got a rider here from Team Ireland and here's a coach, so we'll have a chat with him, see how he thinks.
Yeah, we started the Team Ireland BMX squad in 2015, so it's in our second year. The guys are doing well. We came from quite a sort of grassroots basic end. The guys didn't have much experience. We've been working hard. We've had 2 winter training camps this year in Spain. So the guys, it's a fast learning curve, but they're doing really well. And of course, we're here today to start this 2017 season here in Manchester.
Perfect, that's great. So how are you getting on, Sam? How's things been going for you?
I've been going all right. I've been training hard over the winter, and yesterday I was a bit disappointed because I got knocked out in the quarter-final, but today it's a different day, and it's going to go better, I think.
Well, that's fantastic. Do you want to add anything about like the progression where you see, you know, in terms of getting to the Olympics, or have you got any long-term goals where you want Team Ireland to be?
Yeah, this is at least a 5-year programme. So the guys are still young, they're still developing. We want these guys to be internationally competitive, but we're looking at the early 20s before we know they're physically developed for that. What we are looking for this year is to look at the next level down. So we're looking at a junior development squad. So we're going to start being on the 12, 13-year-olds. So, you know, it takes time. We know it takes time. It took a long time when we were here doing this stuff. The guys have to have patience and just work hard. And fortunately, with the guys we've got in Ireland, they've got a good work ethic, they're enthusiastic, and we've got a great team around us as well. All the support staff back in Ireland, Cycling Ireland, are supporting us fantastically. So hopefully it'll be a steady progress, no quick, sort of quick fixes, but we're just going to work hard and look at the end game.
Well, that's fantastic. And then me and half Irish myself, I look forward to seeing where the progression gets within Team Ireland. So yeah, thanks for talking to me, Jez, and thanks for talking to me. So currently we're at the BMX National Race Series, and we've currently got the motos going on the track. Just to explain to the people and the viewers that are actually tuning in to watch BMX racing for the very first time, a moto is basically a qualifying race, which is a heat. And basically in each race there's 8 people on the gate, and each round in the BMX race you have to place top 4 in order to qualify through. After the 3 motos, you have the lowest 4 riders go through into the next round, whether that be a quarter-final, a semi-final, and then they'll trying to progress through. The same with the semi-final and the quarter-final, top 4 enables the rider to go through until the next round. Special guest here. So BMX racing is just about a family sport. There's two people here that have done absolutely exceptional in the sport of BMX racing. We've got Ryan and Lauren here, Ryan and Lauren Stack, and we're just going to hear a little bit about the rivalry between them both, if there was any, and how they've also got on in their BMX careers. So how have you done, Ryan, and have you ever had any rivalry with Lauren?
Not rivalry as such, because obviously we're different age groups, but it's always nice to feel like you've done the best out of the family over the weekend. So sometimes if she's done better, I think, next time I must do better as well. So.
And what do you think about that, Lauren?
Yeah, I think the same. So even though you're in different categories, like if Ryan got a better position than me, it's kind of rivalry in that sort of sense, like in different age groups.
Oh, that's great. And also, this weekend, obviously, we're at Manchester, and it's the second round now of the Nationals. How did you get on yesterday?
I got second yesterday in the 17:29 class, so pretty happy with that. Just a good way to start off the year, and hopefully progress on now to the bigger events that are later to come.
Perfect. How about you, Lauren?
I didn't have a great day yesterday. I went out in the motos, but it's quite tough this year. They've split the girls. There's a championship and a 17 plus now, so it's a really hard age group.
After watching you yesterday, Lauren, and obviously yourself, Ryan, you can speak a little bit about this, Ryan, over the years. How do you see the sport has progressed in the female category? I mean, I haven't been to a BMX race for quite some time, and just seeing the challenge and the level of competition within the women is absolutely amazing. And what do you think about that, Lauren?
Yeah, it's come on so much. Speed, but also the skills. So all the girls are jumping now. So when I was younger, it wasn't really a done thing. Girls didn't jump that much, but now everyone's jumping, and speed and skills have just come on so much.
And what do you think, Ryan? Do you see a progression over female sport and in cycling? How do you see it progress?
Oh, definitely. Just watching the girls, when you used to only see one or two jump, and that used to be your top two. Now there's literally, it could be 8 in a race that all jump, and it makes racing so much tighter and a lot more enjoyable for the spectators.
Well, that's brilliant. Thanks, guys, for talking to me today. So look out for Ryan and Lauren racing later on today, and let's see where they finish, and hopefully they can better their performances from yesterday.
There we go. Barnes Stop Mark, 7. In the building. There you go. Then you from Paris University. Do you want to just come down to the side of the track? We'll hand it over. Congratulations, guys. We're going to go live in the night show very, very shortly as well.
So here we have Beth. She's one of Great Britain's biggest rising stars. Beth's been phenomenal throughout her career so far. I've been looking up to her since my BMX racing days. Her skills on a bike are absolutely phenomenal. She looks like a guy on a bike. So we want to hear from Beth today and just see how she got on yesterday, see how she's getting on today. So let us know, Beth.
Well, yesterday I didn't have the best of days. My head wasn't really in it. I was struggling a bit. So I just had a crash in my final. Luckily I didn't injure myself, which is alright, but today I've drawn a line under it, starting fresh, and hopefully I can get podium today. So yeah, I'm feeling alright.
That's great to hear. And what do you think to the facilities here at the Manchester BMX track? But not also that, you're obviously on the academy programme. Can you just tell us a little bit about how that works for people at home that don't know about that?
Well, basically you have to start off right at the bottom of the chain in the ODAs, and then you work your way up to eventually get to just the academy level. I'm currently at senior level, which is the 3rd stage of the BC programme, and they've been really supportive over the past few years. I probably wouldn't be able to get this far without them. I'm allowed to train here regularly, I'm allowed to use all the facilities, and it's just been no problem. Like, the coaches have given me the best advice they can to help me succeed, so it's really good. And if you want to get to the top, you've got to start with British cycling. So.
Well, that's great to hear. So I'll let Beth go and grab a drink and spin her legs, because she's just finished the race. So thanks a lot.
And the semi-final for our completes. this weekend here in Manchester. It's nice to be back on that show race series again for Paul Winter. Right night, so we can get that line right, which is good. Regional racing is always natural for international stuff as well.
So here we have Ross Cullen, one of Great Britain's Olympic racing stars. We're going to hear from Ross and how his success has gone over the years, how many world titles he's won, and exactly how he's getting on today. So tell us a little bit about it, Ross.
Thanks, Sinead. My name's Ross Cullen. I've won the World Championships twice, once in 2012 and once in 2015 in Zolder. I'm currently world number 2 after the World Championships last year. And yeah, it put really good for your mindset. It makes you feel really positive coming into races like this. When I'm racing up with the elite guys, it really gives you a good mindset going into it, knowing that you've got some good achievements under your belt. And yeah, today's going quite well. Done 2 seconds and a first, and looking for the final. So yeah, I'm quite chuffed with how today's racing's gone.
That's absolutely brilliant to hear from Ross, and just how positive he is about BMX racing. I know even his dad is been so supportive towards Ross, and that's what BMX racing's about. It's not just about the children that are taking part or the adults. It's about the family, foundation, and the families behind them. So Ross, talk us a little bit through about what kind of food you would eat on race day, how you would prepare for the race mentally and physically.
So normally this year, because I'll be racing Superclass, it's a bit of a later start. So a bit of a line, but not too much, because you want to be nice and energetic for the day. Start off with some protein and carbohydrates, porridge and eggs, and then light snacks through the day. Lots of maybe some caffeine gels, just keep you going, but try and stay away from them if you can. Yeah, just trying to keep the hydration, the energy levels high. So just have a solid day racing. Do the best you can do.
Brilliant. So we'll let Ross go now and top his hydration and his food levels up, and we'll look forward to watching him racing later through the day.
Okay, we're getting ready for day 2 here at Manchester for the British BMX Series, and we have the quarterfinals coming up next. 13-year-olds will be on the gate. The crowds are coming back out. There'll be a few riders ready in about 5-10 minutes to line up on the gate. The riders are staging behind the start hill in front of us here at Manchester, the National Cycling Centre. And in our first race, I say 13-year-old boys, we have Ross Tennant-Jones, Darius Tate, Joseph Little, William Good, Ryan Quinn, Joshua Izzard, Ben Avery and Alfie Backs. So, Sinead, what do you think what the level of racing has been so far?
I mean, I think the level of racing, you're just saying, talking about the male 13 boys, and you could easily be watching a 15, 16-year-old competing. I mean, the level has stepped up absolutely massively compared to when I was in the sport. So, you know, even if that's in the females and the males, you know, everyone stepped up the game, and it's just great to see. I mean, at this level now, this quarter-final could be a final a few years back. So, yeah, it's going to be exciting racing, and I hope everyone's enjoying the racing so far.
So just to let everyone know at home what's happening, we take the first 4 riders to cross the finish line that will go into the semi-final. So this is basically the do or die part of the racing. We've had the qualifying motos, now we're into the serious end of the business where riders will go into the next round or they go home, basically.
Yeah, in a nutshell, that's exactly how it is. I mean, everyone's going to be fighting for that top 4 positions on the track. I mean, if you look at the riders in 4th and 5th, where the action usually happens, because everyone's trying to fight for that all-important qualification spot. So the riders are just on the gate now loading up, so it should be a good race.
Okay, the riders are coming down out of the start hill, on the 5-metre hill, and we'll ID these guys out in the lead. It's the 8 and the 13, Alfie Backs, looking good with Ryan Quinn, but one guy from Psychopath, Ben Avery, gone underneath, and you see a bit of carnage here in front of us, but still leaning out. Looks like the Psychopath Industries guy, Ben Avery, having a good lap, but also still in there, Alfie Backs in there. We're trying ID, a bit difficult in this position, but it's looking like Backs in 2, and Ben Avery's in there as well, going to win. So again, as you said, first 4 going through to the semi. The next quarter-final for 13-year-old boys coming up next.
So Scott, how do you find, or do you think the level of competition is now for the male and females at this level? I mean, you've been in the sport for absolutely ever, so how do you see it's progressed?
Oh wow, it's most definitely stepped up a complete different level in the last probably even literally about 3 or 4 years. The girls alone, 13, 14, 15, 16 have just excelled, and you can see the results on the world stage with some of the European and world finalists that we have here today. But currently leading this one out is Ben Curlin for Pure Bikes. He's looking good, and then the 5 plate in there, Joel Stimpson, and I can see a 100+ Edwards rider, Nathan Dupree, in that 4th qualifying position currently. He's going to go through, so we're looking at the first 4 going through. Quarter-final number 3 for the 13-year-olds. So who leading this one out in this corner below us here? It looks like the 6 plate. Yeah, Bradley Vickery looking good. Bradley Vickery's and Kenny Robinson's in there, 1 and 2. We'll try and pick up the other guys. But Vickery still way out in front. He's booking himself a place into this next round, the semi-final. Kenny Robinson in there as well. We'll try and ID the other guys. Looks like it could be Bradley Vickery still running. He's running in there as well. Going to go through with Robinson, 1 and 2. Last quarter-final 13-year-olds now at the moment. Looks like Jay Beville, really improved rider. He's only small, but he can ride a bike. Got the skills to pay the bills, as we say in BMX, and he's leading this one out in the front. Try and ID the guy on the 7 plate in 2. That's Harvey Short. Harvey Short looking good. But those 2 going through into the next round as we roll right. Now we're on to the 14s. They're getting bigger and quicker. And the 10-year-old 10 plate Saul Jeffrey leading this one out currently. I think that's Alex Brooks just jumping his way in the lead, gone from 2 to 1. So as you can see there, the skills of jumping has got himself through from upper position. We'll pick up the other guy as well. I think that is the 8 plate of Callum Russell coming out of Birmingham. He's going through in 3.
And what do you think about this facility? I mean, who would ever thought it, like 10 years ago, that we'd have an amazing facility like this, and in and there's competition.
Yeah, we still have to pinch ourselves when we turn up here because we can't believe this was built just for us, for BMX. And for these guys that train, they're very, very lucky, these guys up in the north that can come and train here, you know, week in, week out, no matter what the weather. And we always know when we come in at the beginning of the season that the North riders around Manchester, Preston, etc., are going to have the edge and all the guys on the south. So, you know, myself coming from London, we're really envious of this facility. And it's amazing. It's amazing, absolutely incredible. And it's a great use of funding.
Yeah, I mean, just for me, it was my home ground where I trained day in, day out, and I think it did make a massive difference to my physical ability, my technical ability on the bike, really improved with the jumps being so technical in nature, but not having to worry about the wind and the rain. So yeah, so happy.
Right, we're back with the racing. We'll try and pick it up. I think we missed a couple, but we'll crack on. We have got the 14-year-olds out here now. And that's Matt Gilston running in about 3 currently. Then the 6 on the 4th plate is James Campbell. So we're looking at 4th position. James Campbell hanging on to that 4th. He'll go through to the semi. First semi for the 15-year-olds now. 2 plate out there, Jack Bodman looking good. Who's in there? Guy from Manchester, Jay Fairbanks. So local rider from Manchester in the 2 place, looking good to qualify through. And another rider all the way from Peckham in South London, Denny Laborde in 3, and in the 4th qualifying position on the 12 plate currently, Matthew Goodwins.
For people who don't know at home, Scott, obviously we're talking about the technical parts of the track and exactly what they are. But can you just give the people who've never seen it before, when we talk about a rhythm section, exactly what a rhythm section actually is?
Yeah, a rhythm section is straight along one of these straights that these guys are riding now, with a multiple of jumps, so your skill level picks up. Obviously you're going quicker, so that's basically what a rhythm section with lots of multiple jumps. I think that was Joel Clark going through here. We'll catch up now. The 1 plate leading this one out, Chad Hartwell, and the number 1 denotes the fact that he was the 2016 national champion in his age group, so he's looking good currently to get himself booked into that semi-final. Try and pick up the 4th place rider again. I think that is Connor Cassidy, pretty local, comes out of Preston, so he's going to go into the semi-final as well with looks like Evan Watson. 4 plate leading this out, Connor Hedges, very good rider, very strong rider. He's out there at the moment. We're looking who else is with him. Nick Otin, I think, is in about 3 currently, 3rd position. So going into lead, the 3 plate was Ethan Craik. Maybe small, but a very skillful rider, goes through to take that win. Moving up now to 17 to 24. You used to do a bit of riding, 17 to 24, remember that, in the boys? Yeah. Give yourself a challenge.
Yeah, I did, and I remember the commentary that you gave when I was winning the national, and I won the national in Manchester race in this category. And this category I actually owe a lot of my success to, because this has pushed me on from strength to strength. So yeah, this was my old age group.
You used to get knocked about a little bit in that, but it was all right. That's what it's made you a better rider. I do at BMX, Ryan Stack out in the lead of this quarter-final for 17-24. I can see Butson's in there as well. 1 rider goes off track. Butson in 2. I think that's Will Smith in 3. 4th place rider will try and ID that rider. Could be TJ Yates out of Birmingham. He's going through, but the winner of that one, Ryan Stack.
Scott, explain to everyone at home just how long you've been in BMX, about your kids and how they've been involved in the sport of BMX racing, just to give the viewers at home a little bit of an insight about yourself.
Okay, well, I'll try and not let them nod off, but it goes way back. Yeah, I've been in the sport really about 37 years since it all started. I was based in London, used to be involved with a youth project, used to take kids basically before BMX tracks were even built out and about in the community, local places to ride, and then it just snowballed, exploded. BMX exploded in the UK. We started taking kids racing, and then my own kids got into it, travelled the world, and we're still involved in running races in London. So it just goes full circle, and the development of BMX at a local level, everyone's talking about this weekend, just how busy it's been. It's just exploded, the amount of young kids coming into sport. You know, we get about 60, 70 kids every Saturday. You know, Peckham get about 100, Preston get loads of kids turning up. So this is happening all over the country. So great to see it. And yeah, I haven't got tired of the sport yet, so I'm still here.
Yeah, so this is just going back on now. We're still with the veterans, back with the veterans now, so I'll lead them on to the
Yeah, one of our top riders, not only in the UK but the world, Alan Hill out there for Pew Bicycles, doing really good. He's got Oggies in there as well. Martin Ogden sitting in 2. I think that is Ian Archibald all the way from Scotland. Looking forward to going up in Scotland in May for the national there. He's in 3. And looks like Harrison Davis at the moment, Ryan Davis, I mean, hanging on to that 4th qualifying position, which is the one you want, as you said, to get yourself into the semi. Flying here, this is the 3.15 Hugo Martins, looking good. Gary O'Brien, you know, what you see out on track now, as you all know, a lot of these guys raced us when they were kids, when they were 9 and 10 years old, and here they are, 40 and over, and still riding BMX bikes. It's amazing. We've got a 50 plus cruiser class as well. But Martin's going through O'Brien, and looks like 13 in there as well. Spencer Kremin going through with Jason Nichols in 4th. Speedy Reedy, we should call you that. He's out there. Darren Reedy looking quick. He's the national champion from last year. We've got Sean Andrews in 2. Picking it up in 3 is 4 plate Stuart Campbell, and the battle at the moment for that 4th qualifying position looks like it could be Brett Knight. Brett Knight pushing it on the 11 shirt at the back, but he lost their last quarter-final coming round now. And the 2X Ian Sharp out there with Zoltan Boudet, who's a Hungarian national but now living in England. He's sitting now in 2, 4 plate in there as well, looking good. Michael Goff, I think it is, Crucial BMX in there, and Julian Allen, Team Identity in 4th, booking himself a place into that semi-final, which will be coming along in about another 10-15 minutes.
Yeah, so we're just going to take a little short break now. I'm just going to get some of the BMX riders to give some good interviews and some good insights on exactly what BMX racing is about, how they've been getting on and progressing on in the sport, and also how they've positioned yesterday and in today's racing.
Fifteen minutes till semi-finals. 15 minutes until the semis.
Kai, so here we are with Kai and Trey White, two BMX friends that I've known for absolutely ages that are in the sport of BMX racing. These boys came from London, Peckham, and I'm just here to interview them to tell me exactly how they came from into the sport of BMX racing and exactly what they did and how they did to get to the top of the sport.
So I started first at my family, had enough of playing football really, just went to a local BMX track in Brixton it was, and there I met my coach CK, and my dad started riding, my older brother started riding, Kai started riding, my little sister started riding. It became like a family sport, and we just carried on from there, regionals, nationals, Europeans.
And what do you think about what your brother's been up to recently, how he stepped up his game in the sport? Has he inspired you to want to kind of get to the top of the sport, exactly what he's done?
It makes me just want to be like as fast as him, makes me want to be next to him on the gate, which is like the top riders, so he makes me want to be better, so it's good, yeah.
Yeah, and talking about their coach CK Flash that they grew up with and who taught them how to race BMX and taught them what BMX racing was about and how to get to the top. He actually got an MBE, the first BMX racer actually to ever get an MBE. So yeah, absolutely amazing. What do you think what he's gone on to achieve? I mean, the BMX track that you've got there and the facilities that you've got. Can you talk a little bit about CK?
Yeah, it is amazing what he's done. As I said, we came from that track in Brixton and went to a little track in Peckham that was literally, our whole track was probably the first straight here, like first and like half of the second straight, and that was run down in the middle of Peckham. So to come from there, there was only like 8 of us that started at the club. To come from that to now having a full-size BMX track with, I don't know, over 40 members, 50 members maybe, and between us we've had world champions and obviously like world medalists and European champions, so on, between loads of us British champions. And to come from that, like he did put a lot of work in, and obviously we put the work in as well, but he was the guy behind us, pushing us before we got into British cycling and stuff, so yeah, it's well deserved.
So Kai still works with CK because he's obviously still based in London, so we'll hear a little bit about what it's like currently to be working with CK, how hard he pushes him, and the fundamentals he gives him to be a BMX racer.
CK is like, he's a serious coach. He's not one to be like, to say, do this if you want, just do it or go home. And if you're not doing it right, then there's no point training with him because he's just a serious guy. And he's got me to where I am now, and then he's led me to come on to BC, which is a good coach in my eyes.
Yeah, now CK, I've known him for quite a few years now, and he is an absolute great guy. And we'll move on a little bit from there, and we'll talk a little bit about last night's racing, how you get on, and also what are your kind of goals for this year and moving forwards, really.
Last night went well for me. I got second, fight to line with Tori Navastad. Me and Kyle got a little bit caught up out the gate. I think he got like a bad gate. I managed to get a better start, and I just chasing Tori Navastad down to the line really. Yeah, I felt pretty good. Gates were consistent throughout the day. A lot better yesterday than they were today, but yeah. So from now I've got European in Belgium next week, like a double day of racing, and then the World Cups really. So then leading on to the Worlds at the end of the year. So hopefully if I can start the beginning of the year with this form, and I'd like to be a bit faster, but I've still got a bit of training to do. So yeah, hopefully I can start the World Cup season with good form.
And how about you, Kai?
Yesterday was going great. Won all my motos. Got to the final. Had a decent gate and a wheel span and knee flipped over the bars. Came 6th, but overall ranking got 2nd, so that was alright. Today it's going decent. It's going as good as yesterday, and yeah.
We made the main mixed in with a 16 plus today. Kai did, I think 5th, so there was quite a few, like I think all of us were older then, so he did the only junior to make it maybe, so he did pretty well there. And now we've got another race, but it's not often you race 2 races in one day, so I'm definitely feeling it, and I guess he is as well, so see how it goes.
Right, well, I'll let the brothers get on with it. Obviously hearing from them saying how they're tired and they want to rest up, so we'll leave it there, and thanks for talking to me, boys.
Well, I'm turning the tables on Sinead Reid here. I'm gonna bit of Q&A with Sinead, and as you probably know, Sinead was a massive worldwide BMX rider, one of the GB squad. And what did you do? Well, start like from when you left BMX. You went on track for a little while. How did that work out? And is it something you might think of doing again?
Yeah, I mean, BMX racing gave me the absolute fundamental skills to progress onto the track, and winning 2 world titles at Victoria Pendleton in the team sprint was something that I was super proud of, as well as my BMX achievements as well. But yeah, I mean, it was something that I always wanted to explore, because I did track cycling back in 2007 and 2008, doing BMX combined with that. But yeah, I mean, it's something that I'm on the programme doing currently. But yeah, maybe in the future I'll look to expand my horizons to some different disciplines, or maybe some different roles within British cycling. And yeah, it's some exciting projects happening for me at the moment. And yeah, I'm just going with the flow, just getting over my injury, and looking ahead to the future.
So obviously I know you a long time, since you were very small when you first come in, and you rocked up basically at Crewe track, didn't you? And said I'm going to get involved in BMX, and now you've competed in a couple of Olympic Games. Did you ever think that would happen, or what made you get involved in BMX?
Yeah, basically I got involved in the sport of BMX just because it was such a such a passion to go to the BMX track, to push myself on every level, to try and jump the jumps, trying to beat the boys. Obviously I tried to do in my career later on, but yeah, it was just the volunteers. You go there and you see so many people dedicating so much of their free time, and I don't think there's any other sports that can kind of compare to it. So
do you think you'd recommend, definitely for kids who want to get in cycling and their parents, to take them along to their local BMX track?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I think definitely trying. For my job is trying to inspire others. I mean, look, if you look now, Scott, the kids are about to start on the track. So yeah, if you want to give a bit of an insight, we'll do a bit more commentating on the race.
Okay, looks like the riders are getting ready for the semi-finals here at Day 2 at Manchester at the National Cycling Centre, and I think I'm going to be handing you over very shortly to Rich Eames to continue the commentary with Sinead.
Ben Curlin had that one wrapped up. He took the win. There was a big old battle for the next 3 places. 4 riders going through and 4 riders going out, as happens in quarterfinals, semi-finals, etc., etc. Just looking up on the gate, I can see Kenny Robinson from Preston up there. That guy was absolutely flying yesterday. He took a 3rd place. He was going really well. It's got Jay Boville leading it out. Bradley Vickery in there in 2. Kenny's trying to work his way into 3. And, those front 3 riders out front and looking good. But Jay Boville, he's a right talent, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he's been like one of my standout riders over the weekend. I mean, his finesse on the bike and how good he gets through the rhythm section is, beyond his years of skill. So, yeah, it's been really good to see him out front all weekend.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to take the win in this one. Kenny Robinson's going through in 2. That looks like Harvey Short going through in 4. So more semi-final racing here at Manchester. Matty Gilston, James Campbell going into that turn 1 and 2. Oh, Short, Saul Jeffrey getting tangled up in that one. I can see Alex Brooks in there as well, doing it for Preston, just moving back. He's one of the smaller riders, but he really makes his skills count.
Yeah, exactly. That's a prime example. I mean, he is a smaller rider, but he really pushes his skill levels. And obviously, you know, his power might not be there like some of the other riders, but his skill level on the bike is. So he's able to, you know, be in the mix of the racing.
Saying that, he may have just been pipped on the line for that 4th spot. But as we move on, yesterday's winner in this category, Cameron Reid, he's out there in front and looking very, very good. Now, I was talking to Cameron yesterday, and he was telling me that he didn't actually enjoy riding this track, and then he absolutely blew them all away and won. So is it possible, Sinead, from your experience, to go to a track you don't like and actually win?
Yeah, and also for the viewers at home that don't know, every single BMX track in the country and in the world is different, so that's what makes BMX exciting. Sometimes you do have a course that's not one of your favourites, but it's about trying to get your mindset focused on the job in hand and go through the process as opposed to, you know, looking at the outcome. And sometimes when you take care of the process, the outcome takes care of itself.
Right, on to the girls racing now. We've got Molly Cranshaw out front. Emma Jeffers is in there in the 2 spot, and we've got Morgan Haslam in there in 3. That looks like Lily Chiziwa in 4, but she's just had the position taken from her. So it's going to be a bit of work for her to get back. She's getting a bit sketchy down that straight. Zara Lackland just holding on to that 4th spot at the moment, but Molly Cranshaw out front. Emma Jeffers is going to go through in 2 with Morgan Haslam right beside her. Right, more girls racing. We have got in this one, that's Markella Hooley. Now, Markella's just moved on to a new team. She's got a new bike, and it's really raised her racing on. Is it a real psychological advantage, Sinead, when you get all that new bike and new kit?
Yeah, I think I used to look forward to Christmas so much, just so I was thinking, oh, what new parts can I get from Dan's comp for next year? And I was always looking at, and Markella has progressed on massively. I mean, she's just come back from a broken arm, and she's, you know, looking absolutely phenomenal on a new bike. And, you know, Pure is the sponsor of the bike, and they've really put a lot of effort in, and even to me as a BMX rider. Yeah,
it was a good effort from her as well, for sure. Right, more boys racing now. The other Brooks brothers in there in 3 at the moment. Connor Hedges is in there in about 4 or 5 at the minute, so he's got a little bit of work to do if he wants to make it in. It's getting faster and faster and faster, Sinead. So if you're in 5th place in a semi-final and you know it's the top 4 going through, what's going through your mind?
Panic to start with, but then you're just trying to look for every single opportunity, whether that be in a corner, whether that be over the rhythm section, over a series of the jumps, but you're just fighting as if it's, you know, your life depends on it to try and get that qualification spot.
Right, back to the boys racing again. We've got Chad Hartwell in this one, but it's Joel Clark from GT BMX and Midlands BMX Club. He's out there in front. Chad Hartwell's in 2. Keon Smith McDermott working his way in 3, and Jay Furbank in 4. So those guys out front, clear and looking pretty good. It looks like the unlucky guy in 5 is going to be Connor Cassidy, which is a bit sad for him. That's his day over. Next semi-final coming down the hill. Yesterday's winner, Cameron Reid, just working his way in. Got really tight into the corner though, Sinead, and made that move stick.
Yeah, I think sometimes, you know, with this course itself, you can actually take the right-hand side of the straight, which is the males pro section, or you can take the amateur side, which is on the left-hand side. So the first corner is quite tight to make moves on. And as you can see in there, a move was made and it stuck and it paid off for him.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like Ethan Squibb's going to go through in that 4th spot with Finlay Mead going out in 5. Joe Parr heading towards us now, another local lad based out of Wigan. He's battling away there with Callum Knight, and I can see Tyrese Bradshaw in there as well, Ollie Rowe and James King. Look how tight the racing is, Sinead. You know, how much time do you have to make these decisions in this kind of situation?
With the sport of BMX, it's a split decision. Like, you can't be thinking what if, because before you thought about what if, you know, the moment's passed and the opportunity's gone. It's got to be a split decision and instinct, and that's what training comes in. You know, you've got to be always training to be versatile on your bike.
Right, moving on to the 17 to 24-year-old category now. It's getting faster and faster. One guy goes down in the turn. That was Deira Macaulay-Perry. Just slid out in turn number 1. Scott Waterhouse taking the lead. That looks like Ryan Stack in there in 2. Chidley's in there in 3. Now, Mason Chidley, he's a crew lad. He's local to you, Sinead.
Yeah, it's great to see, you know, when they say CGR, which is the name of my club, the Cheshire Ghost Riders in Crewe, out there racing, it's great to see the name's still living on, and he seems like he's having a really good day so far.
Yeah, he's been flying. In fact, he's been flying all of last season as well. He had some great battles with Ross Cullen when they were both riding in their age groups. Obviously, Deering just taking his time, getting himself off track. He's going to come back on the next race and see what happens. So we're moving on now to the next 17 to 24-year-old semi-final. This is Callum Strickland heading down to turn number 1. Brindley Savage in there in 2. We've got some riders from Ireland. Will Smith going down in the first turn. So everybody's sliding out. What do you think of the tarmac turns here, Sinead?
Yeah, I mean, the tarmac turns are obviously pretty tight and pretty grippy, but sometimes I think it's tyre choice. It depends how your body position's been going into the turn and the exit of the turn, and sometimes it's just not your fault. It's another rider may have impeded your position, and it causes you no room, and you can slide out, as you've seen in that race.
Yeah, sometimes they go past us so quickly you can actually smell burning rubber as they slide round the corner, and that's actually not an exaggeration. We're moving on now to the veterans class, which is the guys over the age of 40. So, Sinead, we can still race 40 years old, 50 years old. What do you think of these older guys?
Yeah, I think, some of these guys actually take it more serious than some of the teenagers. Some of them go to the gym quite often, take it, serious. But like it shows, like these are still true athletes out there. I think one thing that's impressed me this weekend is hearing a guy in the 50-plus cruiser was actually 70 years of age. So, if your granddad out there thinking about taking up the sport, it's never too late.
Right, we're on to the final of the semi-finals, the very last one. Darren Reedy out front looking good. That's Hugo Martins. Now, Hugo's actually come over from Portugal. He's visiting some friends. Spencer Kremin going down there, just coming out of the first turn. He's just slid out. I'm sure he'll be okay. So Martins is in there in 2. Sean Andrews is in there in 3. That looks like Gary O'Brien in 4 and Stuart Campbell in 5. But Darren Reedy, he's been in the sport almost as long as anybody I can possibly think of. How do you stick to a sport like BMX for so long, Sinead?
With a little bit of luck on your side. Obviously injuries play a part in our sport, not to put anybody off, but they do. But just the love and passion of it. I mean, even though I'm not competing in the sport of BMX racing anymore, I still like keeping up to date with everything, seeing all the new bikes coming out, seeing the new sponsors and teams coming up at the Nationals. So yeah, it's a sport that will always get you hooked. As soon as you've got BMX within you, it's in your blood forever.
Yeah, as a former racer, Sinead, of BMX, what do you think would be the one piece of advice that we'd give to anybody coming into the sport of BMX racing?
Yeah, that's a great question, and I get asked the same question quite a few times. And for me, the biggest advice I'd give is to go along, even if you haven't got a bike. A lot of clubs now have actually bikes and equipment that you can hire out. I started that way. And you can go along to your local BMX track. There's plenty of information on the British Cycling website in terms of where them BMX tracks are located. But go over there, have a good time, bring a friend if you're a bit too shy to have a go, or bring a family member and just have a good go at the sport. And I'm sure once you go once, you'll go back again.
Absolutely, and there's a habit, I'm sure you know of it, of riders who turn up who have never ridden a BMX bike before. They ride the rattiest bikes you can possibly find, and then they turn into, a bit of a diamond in the rough like you did when you entered the sport.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of our sport, track cycling and road cycling, you kind of have amazing equipment to be at the top of that sport. But in BMX, as long as you've got a 20-inch BMX bike, you can be just as competitive with any of the other people out there. Yeah, it's nice to have all the fancy parts on the bike, but it's not a necessity to have.
Right. Who's impressed you this weekend? I mean, you've watched all the racing over the 2 days. It's been a while since you've spent 2 days at a BMX National. Any standout performances for you?
I think I'm gonna go for Blaine Davis. She's been absolutely phenomenal. I know just how hard she works. She's been in the gym working with me when I was on the program, and I can see how hard she was putting time and effort in. A skill level now, this winter she must have worked a lot on her skill, and it's been really, really nice to see just how far she's progressed. And yeah, I think the future for female BMX is bright, and I look forward to seeing what the next Olympics produces.
Yeah, because at one time, especially with the girls racing, you could almost shut your eyes and predict which riders were going to be in which order, and that doesn't seem to happen these days. So the skill level and the competition level for the girls is going up. We've had girls as young as 13 go off the 8-metre hill and jump that humongous first double, and it seems to be gathering pace worldwide. The skill level's going up for the girls. They're getting faster and faster, and for me, especially at World Cup level, the ladies racing has been almost as entertaining, if not more entertaining, than the men. How do you find the World Cup level racing now for the ladies?
Yeah, like you said, like you could go back a few years ago, up until about 5 years ago, and like you said, you could pretty much write on paper who was going to, come first through to probably top 5, really. But now it's very scattered in the fact that so many people are at similar levels, and because the bar has been raised to such a high level, the likes of Mariana Pajano, who's the 2 times Olympic champion, Caroline Buchanan from Australia, who's won multiple world titles within the sport. These girls are really putting themselves out there and really challenging themselves, and it's been great to see. I mean, I tune into every single BMX World Cup and watch, and like you said, yeah, BMX and female BMX is just as exciting as the males now.
And BMX as a discipline, obviously it gives you phenomenal bike handling skills, it gives you the power, the raw power to ride a bike, and it's no coincidence that riders leave BMX and go into other disciplines like downhill mountain bike, like 4-cross, and track World Cup and that kind of thing, and they tend to do quite well. What do you think it is about BMX racing that just gives you that little edge when you move into a more quote-unquote normal cycling discipline?
Yeah, I think you need to just look at the very famous Sir Chris Hoy. I mean, he came from the sport of BMX racing, so did Jamie Staff. The list goes on. I came from obviously BMX racing and transferred to the track. But I think the fundamental skills that you need in a BMX race is unbelievable. You need to be able to jump a bike, you need to be able to avoid 7 other people on the track, you need to be able to manual a bike, you need to be able to be reactive at the start, you need to have fitness because it's almost like being a 400-metre runner. So the actual skill sets that you need, I just believe that no other cycling discipline, and that's not being biased, offers. And then, like you said, then you're able to cross that over into disciplines like downhill, like track cycling, even road cycling. I mean, there's quite a lot of, I've heard Peter Sagan came from BMX or did BMX when he was young. So it just shows, the crossover you can have from our sport.
I think one of the prime advantages that you get from BMX racing as well is because you are competing at a high level at a very, very young age, so you're used to getting stuck into those situations. For you as a track athlete, when you moved across and you had that exposure to heavy competition from a young age, do you think that gives an athlete who moves into any sport, say they move from BMX into athletics, they move into cycling, they move into rowing, they do whatever they do when they leave the sport, but they've been exposed to that high level of competition. Psychologically, do you think it's a plus?
Yeah, I think it's a massive plus. I mean, you get yourself out there and set yourself up on a start gate with, a couple of thousand people watching you. It just gives you that competitive edge. And like you said, whatever sport you move into or from, I think being in the spotlight and being able to perform at a high level crosses over into any walks of life, really.
Right, and also as a plus as well within BMX, you get to do quite a bit of travelling. Just tell us about some of the places that you've been to over the years. I'm sure your passport's got a lot of stamps in.
Yeah, I mean, I've filled quite a few passports, which is it's been quite a luxury. But I've been to see so much of the world, and that's another part of our sport. From a very young age, I think I've never been on many family holidays or seen many places. And then as soon as I got involved in the sport of BMX, first year I was in France, then I was off to America, and I'd seen so many parts of the world that are so beautiful that I probably never ever would have in my wildest dreams thought I would have seen. So I've been so thankful, not just to sponsors at the time, but obviously my organisation, which is British Cycling, which was a huge support. My coach back then, Jeremy Hayes, who helped me, put my bike in the back of a minibus and bring a load of us to a local BMX race. And it's just been like the sport of BMX. It's such a family-orientated sport, and when you're a part of the sport, even if you're not a part of the family, you're a part of a family, which is BMX racing, and everyone always bends over backwards to help you.
Yeah. I know you've done a couple of Olympics, and you've done some Grands races in America, the USA BMX Grands, that kind of stuff. What's the actual craziest race you've ever been to? What's the memory that sticks out in your mind about BMX racing?
I think it's probably when I went to not so far in the behind was going to Argentina World Cup, and I'd heard so much about Argentina and what an amazing place it is. But I remember turning up there and the kids and the adults that came kind of worshipped the athletes. They kind of seen us as like football superstars, and people were turning up on donkeys, and it was such a surreal experience because we take for granted sometimes what normality is. But yeah, out there they were just so passionate and enthusiastic about supporting the athletes, and for me, I think that race will probably stick in my mind forever.
Yeah, there's been so many other athletes who've said that as well. Elise Post, Lauren Reynolds, Liam Phillips. I think Liam gave away most of his bike and kit and that kind of thing because the kids who were over there pretty much have nothing, and like you say, they're riding around on rickety bikes and turning up to the track on donkeys and all that kind of stuff, which sounds bizarre to us in the UK, but in that part of Argentina, it's actually quite normal. So, in terms of going to a race like that versus going to a venue that you go to all the time, I suppose there are advantages and disadvantages in the situation in that you know what to expect when you go to a venue that you've ridden many, many times before. Does that help you balance your mindset on race day?
Yeah, I mean, it is different. It portrays certain qualities that you need in terms of the fact that, you know, you need to be mentally alert. Like if you've been to a track 1,000 times before, or, you know, even a handful of times, you can kind of, you know, reprogram your mind and you can get on with the track and jump the jumps, you know, relatively quickly. But when you come to a new track like the Argentinian track, you have to really kind of reset your mind, really refocus, and then also the heat temperature. Obviously, being from Manchester, is, you know, it's always raining pretty much here, as you know, but also it's a facility here. We're obviously indoors, so we're not exposed to hot weather conditions. So when you go out to places like Argentina, you've got to kind of combat the mindset of what the heat's going to be like. You've got to really think about hydration, and also your food intake for the day, because you could start off absolutely flying but then get dehydrated, and by the end of the day you've got, you know, nothing left. So that's another thing you have to work with the nutritionists that play a big part in that.
Yeah, what do you prefer in terms of racing? Do you prefer to race at a new venue or a different venue like Argentina for the novelty and that kind of attraction of something different, or do you prefer to go to somewhere familiar like Manchester or Chula Vista, or, you know, somewhere in France that you've been before? What's your preference?
For me, I think I've obviously been racing BMX racing for 17 to 18 years. So for me, going to new facilities and going to new BMX tracks was always exciting. That's, you know, first and foremost, when you got into BMX racing, that, you know, the kind of highlight of it was every single course in the world is different. So it's always nice to be exposed to them different courses and with them present different challenges. So for me, I was always an athlete that liked to be pushed and be challenged. So to go to a different course, it presented itself there and then straight away. So for me, it was always nice to go to different countries or go to different tracks in the country that I'd not ridden before, to try and get that buzz back to jump that big jump again, or, you know, to do something on the course that I hadn't done before.
Yeah, because you do see certain athletes when they do go to somewhere that's out of their comfort zone and they're put into that pressure situation, you do tend to find that they crumble. How much mental work do you as an athlete, or, you know, would you do in the, you know, the preparation, the run up to, say, a World Cup BMX, World Cup track event, whatever it might be? Tell us about that mental prep that you do on a regular basis.
Yeah, I think when people come to a World Cup or they come to a national, and then people that are at the elite level or even you know, the lower level, I always say a BMX race is won the week before, and not just won the week before physically, but I think mentally. Physically, it's won hours in preparation before the event, but I always think mentally, that week before leading into a competition, everything's got to be sharp. Your mindset, you've got to be on time for things, and that was my ritual. I always said, if, you know, the week before I could be on time, I could get everything right and everything was perfect, then it only leads you into good practice going into an event. And the mental aspect of any sporting event, you know, whether it be BMX racing, you know, track and field, the mental preparation is huge, because when you're up in that start gate for an Olympic Games or a World Championship, everyone's pretty much capable of winning that event, but it's who has that mental edge and that mental sharpness over everybody else.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember coming to a Supercross practice session here the week before the World Cup last year here in Manchester, and I happened to be sat in the foyer when the American team walked in, and Connor Fields, the current Olympic men's champion, he walked in, he had his earbuds in, and he looked like he was rehearsing from the minute that he walked into the arena what he'd be doing, what he'd be thinking, where he was looking at. I'm sat around with my daughter thinking I might be able to get an autograph or a picture, but, you know, Connor looked so focused on that particular occasion that I don't disturb him. Do you think, you know, that it's important to do that sort of mental rehearsal literally from the word go before you get into the building?
Yeah, I think people are very different in the way they approach things. I mean, my approach was quite different to that. I'd like to be quite kind of laid back in terms of, you know, not taking things too seriously if things went wrong in the day, but also, you know, but laid back enough to be able to chill myself right out, ready for when it was go time, that I could switch it on and be fully focused. And like I said, that started from the week before the event. Some people like to get in the zone, put the headphones on, be super serious from the moment they leave the airport to the event or to the venue. And for myself, I wasn't quite like that. But like I said, in sport, everyone approaches things with a very different mental mindset. And I know Connor Fields, the current Olympic males champion, he is very serious and he is very driven, and it comes out.
Yeah, and talking to Connor, obviously in that session as well, he was unfortunate enough to crash on the last straight, and he really struggled then to get himself fit for the games. So it was always going to be difficult for him to get back on it. If you're in a situation like that where you've had an injury and a setback, you know, how hard is it to get back to where you need to be? What do you have to do to get back to that level?
Yeah, it is hard. I mean, injuries play a big part in obviously our sport, and it is difficult at times. But because you're kind of exposed to it from a young age, you kind of it's part and parcel of what we kind of do. So you know, if you do have an injury, you've just got to really work with the team around you and have trust that you know they are going to get you back to where you need to get to. British Cycling's a fantastic showground to show that, because the physiotherapists there, the doctors that work within British Cycling are really supportive, and they all want you to get you back to your best fitness. And you know, the American Federation did that for Connor, and he was back and won the Olympic Games.
Here with Sinead Reeds, one of the ladies I've known for a very long time. I talk about you all the time, Sinead, and we're talking about the young riders out there right now. Check this little guy out in front. Looks pretty good, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's been looking solid all weekend. I mean, he's leading out the final now, so it's really, really positive to see that, he's really progressed throughout the day and has been able to hold on to his position.
He looks like he's going to take this one. He's going down the last straight. You got the guy in second, doing pretty good. These are what, the B finals? Are these B finals going through at the moment?
This is B finals, and just to explain what a B final is, the top four from each semi-final that will progress on through till the A final, but the final four in each semi-final who didn't make that top four spot go into what is called a B final, so they get to still do a final with the other people from the other four people from the semis.
So with the B final, obviously, if people don't know, like you said, if you didn't make the final, then you get another chance to race, which is great for the young people, so they get a feeling what it's like to make the B final. It's really, really good, so they know they're only like a little scratch away from making the A final at another event, which will be coming up, which I believe the next event is going to be Birmingham.
Yeah, I mean, this is obviously rounds 1 and 2 that we're covering today, but the series doesn't just stop there. It goes on throughout the year. It doesn't just stay in Manchester. It goes throughout all the country. And if you want to find out more information on that, if you go to the British Cycling website, it'll put you in the right direction where you can go and either compete in a national or to go and watch.
And they call this track the Manchester track, which some people call, or I call it, the Lion's Mouth, because it's not an easy track. What would you say about this circuit? Everybody seems to be running from it. Even a few of my riders have decided to not race here because they know it's not an easy track. What would you say about the track itself? You've got to have your game on, right?
Yeah, I think definitely. As soon as you get on that start gate and as soon as the gate drops, it's a very technical natured BMX course. And as you can see, there's been quite a few crashes where riders haven't quite got it right. But one thing that does happen at this track, when you do master it and when you do get it right, your skill level can just go through the roof. It's a great facility to really push on your skills. But as we're on that, CK, let's talk a little bit about the Peckham track, exactly where you kind of grown that from, and the technical nature of that track as well.
Well, we started the Peckham BMX in 2002. Well, no, Brixton in 2002. And then I went over to Peckham just about 2003, 2004 to start the local BMX pump track, which was there. And then we started off with about, 2 or 3 riders. Built that club up over 4 years, and at around 2008, with about 60 riders in the club on this little pump track, we managed to win a lot of the titles. So we won the national title as a club, we won the British title. One of our riders, which is Trey's brother, funny enough, Dan White, he won a European title. And then 2012, obviously, you got Quillan Isidore, who won the World Championship, which was our first world champion. Then we went on to obviously look for a bigger BMX track that I worked with kind of worked and hunted down the council for a number of years. I know that some people are getting tracks pretty easy, but it took me about 8 years to raise about 700,000, and then the council, Southwark Council, put back in another 500, so we raised 1.2 million altogether. Then I got together with obviously Clark and Kent, the guys that built this track, and made sure that our track was the best of the ability, and it's turned out to be one of the best tracks in London, with turning out some of the top riders. So we've got a really good conveyor belt. As you can see, I think when you look at the Olympic program, when it comes to development riders, I'm not too sure, but we've got about 5 riders on the program already, including the Isidore brothers, the White brothers, and obviously Blaine Davis. They're doing really well. So yeah, the club's come from nowhere to somewhere, and it's going really good right now.
Yeah, and I'll vouch for what CK was saying. I remember turning up to ride the little Peckham BMX track that he had, and it was literally in the middle of a state. It didn't even look like it even belonged there. And the riders and the talent that's come from there is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, I've obviously trained with Trey White on the Olympic development program, and yeah, I mean the fundamentals that CK is put into them guys, and just how regimented they are, and when they come along, they just know what they need to do to make it to the top of the sport. And that's all thanks to CK. And even if we just go on now to speak about CK getting his MBE, and just how impressive that is, I think people in BMX take for granted a little bit just what that actually means.
Yeah, it's a big thing, because obviously I've come from a music background as well as racing BMX from back in the day, and it's good to come back and create what I've created, and a lot of the funders and a lot of people in the charities that want to donate to the charity is definitely is a big deal. Looking at the racing on the track though, these guys are getting faster and faster. They're really, really putting it in. These are the A finals. Who's out there, Sinead?
So we've got the male 13 boys out there now. This guy has been absolutely tearing it up. That's out in front now. He's been winning all day long, and he won yesterday, so it's good to see him pushing it again. Obviously the guy in seconds challenge him, so we'll watch what happens going down the last straight.
These guys are looking pretty good as they go down. It's going to be neck and neck. They're going to the line. It's looking quick. Who's going to get it? He gets a bit wonky there on the last jump, but he's looking good. British Cycling teamed up with HSBC UK. It's a new sponsorship this year, and it looks to be spreading like wildfire. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, who would have imagined that, on a BMX style, HSBC UK would have its logo on there? I mean, that's just shown just how far the sport of BMX has progressed, and, the outside sponsors want to come involved, not just people who are in the industry, but people outside want to be involved in the sport of BMX. So it's great to see.
Well, we've got another A final one. It's big time racing here in Manchester, as they like to say. Energy, energy, energy. Here we go. Number 4 out there doing pretty well. Oh! Crash down there, Sinead. Up on their feet. It's good to see them up on their feet without them getting any injuries. But this young man out in front looking pretty good. And I think he's got the number 1 on his plate, or is it the number 3? I think it's the number 3 on his plate. Looking pretty good. He looks like he's going to take this one all the way to the line. There's no way they're going to catch him. He's got this one wrapped in the bag. How does it feel when, you win a national or when you win the Worlds? What's the difference?
I think winning the Worlds, winning a national, winning a regional to me it's the same thing, because you put so much time and effort into winning them races. It's not just about turning up to the track at a national weekend. It's all the preparation, all the people behind you who've worked so hard to get you to that start line, to get you to the position you're in. And it's just like a firework of emotions when you're leading out any of the races that you put your mind into. It's just no other better feeling. And winning a world title and thinking, wow, everyone in the stands that's come to support you, you just feel like you've really, give them something back as well.
So we're on to, I believe, race F10, which is female 13 to 14. This looks like it's going to be a good race. Let's see how they get on. Good start there from the ladies there. Let's see who makes it into the first corner. Let's see what the plate number is as they come round here. E17, let's take a look. Molly's in there, looks like she's doing pretty well. Got Morgan in there, Emily, Catty, and also Zara. Looks pretty good for these ladies, but she looks like she's got the E7, means that she's the European number 7. Is that from last year?
Yeah, Molly yesterday, she actually took the win and she's been looking very dominant all day long. CK, how is your level of females progressing? It's over at Peckham. I mean, just watching the racing this weekend, the level of females has just absolutely risen.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of girls that's involved now, and from back in the day, obviously we had Blaine Davis, who's won both yesterday and hopefully going to win today, and we got Kat, who used to race with her, who was world number 2 when Blaine got world number 3. We've got loads of girls coming through. We're doing a great program down there where we're going into the schools and getting a lot of the young kids in. There's a big kind of conveyor belt behind it, but the girls are always in it, and this weekend is showing it again. Back onto race number 11 now. Jack Brown, Joel, Chad, Ethan, Ryan, Jay and Lewis Holmes, they're all in there, looking pretty quick there. This guy looks like he's running away with it, Sinead.
Yeah, he does. I mean, just as you see them, BMX, it can be unpredictable. It's a bit of a lottery sport. 2 guys went down, then 3, and everyone's trying to scramble back to get them positions. And if you look now, going down the last straight, these guys are pushing it all the way to the finish line.
Looking good, there you go. Close race by those 2. That's why you always say BMX is obviously it's about getting to the first jump first, but you never know what can happen around the rest of the track. Some people think, you get to the first jump first and that's it, it's all over. But like anything can happen. Anything can happen.
Yeah, it's never over until it's over at the finish line, so never ever give up. On this note, CK, if anyone was thinking at home, they're from the London area, wanting to go to the Peckham BMX track, can you tell them, some dates and times that you guys are there and how it all works?
Well, we're there every week. We run I could just give you the basic sessions, which is Wednesday 6:30 till 9, and also Thursday 5:30, which is novice till 7, and then 7 till 9 again for the experts, and then Saturday mornings novice 9:30 till 11, and then the experts start with me at 10:30 till 1. But we actually run a 5-day session. So Monday is if we're not racing on Sunday, we do sprints. Tuesday is gym, Wednesday track, Thursday track, Friday off, Saturday back at the track, and Sunday we do a little session as well. So we train about 5-6 days a week, get the kids off the street, keep them occupied, and keep them on consistency and focus. Here goes the race again. Who's this on the track? We're looking good, Sinead. Number 2 out there, looking Joe Pyre. Where's he from? He's from Midlands. Tell us, where are you from?
So I'm originally from a place called Crewe. Probably people don't even know where that is. It's quite a small little town, but it's produced some absolutely amazing BMX talent. Just like yourself, CK, I had a coach out there called Bob Fields. He used to do the same sort of program that CK does. It was a no-nonsense program. We went there to work hard.
You know what? That last race was amazing. It's obviously you've heard about my new team, which is a team within a club, 100 plus. And that young man has been struggling all day. I just had a little word with him, and he's just gone out and won the final. So, got to shout out to him, Charlie O'Grady. He done really, really, really good to win that final. So, I'm a bit happy up here. I've come up the right time.
Yeah, it sounds good to me. Again, you just see hard work pays off, and them guys down in Peckham, not just Peckham, across the country, are all working hard. It's quite a voluntary kind of basis. People are working at these local tracks. So yeah, big props to you, CK, and well done to that boy for winning.
Yeah, Charlie O'Grady, amazing. He was struggling all day, and we had to talk about his gearing. We got the gearing changed, and I just had a few words with them to give him a bit of encouragement, and he done really well. The ladies are out here, Sinead. I think you would have a good word on this and how ladies ride. There's a little bit of a crash down there, but how do you get on with a female from when you started? What improved your skills? Because you never, obviously you were a lady, but you rode like one of the boys. You could beat the boys at any time. What made you progress so you could get that aggressive style that most ladies who race BMX would love to have?
I think for me it was like going to the BMX track, and back 17 years ago it was seen as more of a male dominated sport, but that for me was a blessing in disguise, because when I went to the local BMX track, you know, I'd train and try and trace the boys, you know, and it pushed me on in the sport. And, you know, they'd be at the track saying, oh, try and jump this, try and jump that, do this, do that. And I'd always try and think, I don't want to be a wimp and not seem to be doing it. So I always did it, always pushed on. Yeah, so the girls that are thinking about doing it, the biggest thing for me is to get up and just to get out there and just to ride your bike as much as you can and ask advice, you know, from the local coaches there or the guys there, and just ask advice on how they can get better on the bikes.
It's crazy because, you know, I know you used to ride with a few other riders back in the day that really pushed you, you know. Was it them that was pushing you, or was it just you that was just wanted to take it to the next level?
I think my internal drive, and you know, still to this day, and what I'm going to go on and do in the future, has always been there. Like, I've always wanted to be a successful person. I think, you know, my motto is, when you're kind of getting put in your grave and your days are up, I want to kind of go out not just as another number that existed, but someone that actually lived and did something that was kind of special with the life they were given. And for me, it was always wanting to be the best, like not just the best in the world, but the best I could be internally, and that motto will always stay with me. And anyone I work with or coach now, it's always to say, you know, your goal might not be to win the world title or to be an Olympic champion, but it is to be the best you very possibly can be.
Brilliant. Well, we got 17:24. Looking good. Callum Strickland, Scott Waterhouse. We've got Jordan Smith in there, Nathan Wood, Ryan Stack, and Ross Sharp. These guys are going for it. Let's see who's going to get it. Sinead's into the corner. It's the 4.65, I believe it is, going round him. Callum Strickland, he's a rider that's been around a long time. He's got good skill. He's very smooth and doesn't make mistakes. What would you have to say about Callum?
Yeah, like you said, I think you just hit the nail on the head. Cal's a good friend of mine as well. Came out to America when I was living out in the States, working with Kurt Pickard, so got himself a coach that's in New Zealand. But yeah, congratulations to him. He's such a good guy and such a solid performance.
And you know what, I must say, you know, the riders that are really down to earth and quiet and focus on getting the job done and not focusing on other things always get it done. So, no, it's brilliant, Sinead. I'm just happy to be up here and representing.
Yeah, so I just want to say thanks for the Bike Channel, obviously, for showcasing our amazing sport. Thanks for CK, and we're going to leave it there. Hope you've enjoyed the show.
Thank you.
Next, on the game now, lane final. Through Factory, Gary O'Brien. For the Little Sultan Relay. The Manchester Mine of the Ogden. Sean Andrews.